Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Monday the 13th of May. Starting on with the S&P, which had a decent end of the week. Obviously good gains above a rising 50-day moving average. That's currently around 51.40 above that. Looking for the best levels of the year, 52.60, and then up to as high as 55.20 by the end of next month at the top of that rising October trend channel. If we do break down below the 50-day line, then the risk is of a test of the floor of that rising trend channel from the end of last year down towards 50.60. But at the moment, we're expecting this market to remain above the early May gap and also the rising 50-day moving average. Next contender is Nasdaq 100, and here managing to break rather sheepishly the resistance line there from March, called out around the 18,000 level, and above that looking for obviously the best levels of the year towards 18,400, and then after that as high as 19,300 at the top of that rising trend channel from back in September, October last year. Once again on the downside, not expecting anything worse than the floor of that rising trend channel, 17,300, and ideally we stay above the now rising 50-day line, 17,900, so basically the 18,000 area. Moving on to the stocks, and the first one is a debut selection here, which is AI, spelt in a rather strange way. Here we've had a gap higher, which I suppose is the mirror of the gap down that we had back in December to new low, so it's and also the gap down that we had back in March. So it's basically a bear trap island reversal twice, and the view at this stage is that while we're above a recent resistance, the old March resistance around $2.10, looking for something high as $6 by the end of next month, courtesy of that island reversal. Next stock is another new one, and another strong one actually, ADMA Biologics, and here a gap through resistance, top of the channel there, heading as high as $10.50, which we'll hopefully get by the end of this month, while we remain above Friday support at the $8 level, so above $8 on an end of day close basis, looking for up to $10.50. Interesting chart shape coming up here at CareDX, and here we've gapped up after, well, it's the second gap higher actually that we've had in the recent past. We had the first at the beginning of the month, and rising 50-day line as well, gapping through resistance. So the view at the moment is while we're above the broken resistance at $12.80, looking for further progress within that rising trend channel in September. That's heading towards the $18.80 area, and we're looking for that as soon as the end of this month, while we remain above the old resistance zone. Moving along to another new name, Elucia, and here a rising trend channel from back in October, and bumping along around the bottom of that channel for quite some time, since the beginning of last month, but the weekly close above the 50-day line, $3.10, suggests that we could head up towards $5 as soon as the end of next month, which is the top of that 2023 rising trend channel. Moving along to Inseego, and here previous target hit and broken actually, $4.60, above $4.60. Looking for a fresh leg to the upside, which is the upper parallel of that rising trend channel from November. The level there is high as $7.60 by the end of next month, while we remain above that $4.60 zone. Nice setup coming up next, and here it's Itios Therapeutics. Here we've gapped through, well, all resistance, all near-term resistance. The key here, though, is to stay above or get above that old peak from last year. That was back in August, and the level there around the $18 mark, end of day close above $18, could take us up to $22 by the end of this month. So let's see if the shares of Itios or Itios can step up to the plate. One of the best rises at the end of last week was Novavax, and here you can see how that panned out. We already had an island reversal basically at the beginning of the year going into March, but very volatile there, so it would be surprising if people managed to hang on to the rodeo ride. The old resistance on the way down around the $8.10 level, and above that we're looking for the top of that broadening triangle from March last year, as high as $11.50, but the key is holding above that old resistance. Onto a stock which we have covered here before. It's been a bit of a car crash in the recent past, actually, but just the first hint that we've hit the floor there around $2.80, $2.90, which is a support line projection from the end of 2022. The longer we stay above, let's say $2.80, looking for at least a retest of the 50-day moving average area up to $5.70 by the end of next month. On to a rather better looking situation, which is Ouster. Here we've managed to exceed our previous target there, an August resistance line target, top of the channel there, towards $9, and above $9, the next level up to as high as $16.50. If you're looking for a stop loss area, probably $11.20, just below that old peak from the beginning of April would be the place to think on. Rent the runway is next, and here it's a broadening triangle base, and one that looks encouraging in the sense that basically we're looking for a retest of that $28 area. The resistance line there probably rather higher than we've have it there at the moment, so that would fit the price action, so towards $27, $28 by the end of next month, while we remain above the recent swing low at around the $13 levels, where we've dipped down to $12.76, so just below there would be a decent swing low rebound area for a move towards $27 to $28. On to the last two, and starting off with Census, and here the shares hitting our target, retesting the old February resistance towards $5.30, above the resistance line there at $5, and that's basically what we're looking at, shares opening at. We could see $6.50 by the end of this month, but really we want to stay on the right side of the Friday price action, $4.40 to $4.50, but on a closing basis, $5 plus is what we're looking for. Finishing off with Sweet Green, and here gapping through resistance in quite some style. The view here is that we could head up for another leg as high as that June resistance line projection from last year. That's pointing to a $43 target by the end of next month, while we remain above resistance on the way down towards $28. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.